Hi, I'm attorney Renee Osipov, and I assist parents, guardians, and students who are having issues surrounding education, specifically with IEPs or 504 plans. In this video, I'm talking about what is a 504 plan or the accommodations for anxiety. So a 504 plan is actually codified in federal law. So this isn't state, it's federal. And the Rehabilitation Act, which gives protections against discrimination for disabilities, so students with disabilities. The 504 plan gets its name because it's actually codified in section 504 of that federal act. So what is a 504 plan? A 504 plan are federal protections for students who may have a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits a major life activity. So this is straight from the actual statute itself, which states that in order to qualify for a 504 plan and those protections, you have to have a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits a major life activity. So if we're talking about anxiety, that would be a mental impairment. And if the school or the 504 plan team found that there was a substantial impairment, then the student would get accommodations written into the actual plan. Now, substantially limits a major life activity can mean a lot of things. It can be transitioning between classes, it can be sitting down for lunch, it can be taking exams in a quiet place or getting extended period of time to take exams. It can mean sitting somewhere separately in the classroom or special services brought into the school, maybe some type of therapy. Really, the possibilities are huge of what type of accommodations can be granted so that student can succeed. So what is a 504 plan? I already told you it's codified in federal law. It's a piece of paper. It's basically a contract between the school and the team stating that the school will provide services and accommodations. That piece of paper or that contract gets created by the 504 plan team, which is comprised of the 504 plan coordinator, normally the general education teacher, sometimes administration or other staff at the school, parents, and then depending on the student's age, sometimes the student is involved as well. The plan itself will have observations, so it will show or it will tell observations basically showing that student is substantially impaired somehow. So maybe they're having difficulty with getting exams done on time and therefore their grades are going down, or they're having panic attacks during regular class hours, and it's hindering them from being able to learn. So that's one part. Then the second part would go into the actual accommodations granted. So this would be extended time on test. This would be students being able to leave to take medication for anxiety or self-regulate in a quiet area and come back to the classroom without punishment. These are just some examples. If there's social anxiety, maybe they're able to either lunch somewhere other than the cafeteria. But really those accommodations are there to protect that student, right? So that they are not discriminated against because of their mental impairment, which would be considered anxiety. So this is typically what a 504 plan is. It's just simply protections for someone with a disability or a mental impairment here when we're talking about anxiety. And it has specific accommodations that the school has to provide to protect that student. So if you'd like any more questions, if you have any more questions or you'd like any more information, you can check out the description below. It has a link to our website and all of our contact information. And we're happy to help. Thanks.